day, it's a Friday. And guess what I've got this Friday, given what happened to me last Friday? Avonmouth dig cut. Woohoo! Now, I have been informed that not too far from Avonmouth, the location I'm going to, there is a Greggs I didn't know existed. So sorry guys, but I'm gonna have to give this away now. I'm gonna have to let all transport managers everywhere know that they're correct. I'm gonna engage the flight mode button so that I can actually get there in the time the computer system says I can get there. Just so as I can have a Greggs. I've been saving that. I have been saving that. I've just been like, yeah, I'm going to use it. And now that there is a Greggs concerned, now I give it, now I use it. But now I've got Avonmouth, and then I've got a phone to make sure the Didcot is still on, because on a Friday we don't usually pick up from Didcot, but at this time of year, you never know, volumes do increase. It is that wonderful, glorious time of year. But anyway, I suppose what I should do is finish off filling out this paperwork, go and find my trailer, wherever it is, and then skedaddle down to Avonmouth. Hopefully I'll make it this time, although looking on the traffic app, there are 2 accidents on the M4 at the moment. So I'm just looking at it thinking, you know what, there's nothing I can do. There is nothing I can do. Now obviously the store was a bit miffed last time because the load got there late. So what they did today is they started me at 12 to do this run. The time is now 12:56. So you're just looking at it thinking, what? Okay, I came in earlier, but the load wasn't ready any earlier. But anyway, I'm going to crack on now. Hopefully, and I say this hopefully, I shall be able to do this run in 10 hours. Hopefully. That is what my plan is at the start of the day. I know I forgot to say that yesterday because I've said I was going to start doing that, you know, say what my plan is. But we shall see what happens. Hopefully I'll be able to do it in 10. But as you guys know from all the other times I've ever done Avonmouth Didcot, it's been 12 to 13 hours. I think there was even a cheeky 14 at one point, wasn't there? Just entering that. Because I'd forgotten to put my bleeding card in. Because I'm that intelligent. Yeah, that's a 13 and a half. Oh no, that's not ready yet. That was a 14. That was an 11 and a half. So that one was useful. So hopefully I shall be able to do this in 10 hours. Can't go that way. This is the thing that gets me with these tacos. It said 12:57. I started at 12. So obviously I've left the first one at 12, but I'm not allowed to go forward. So what I've got to do is go 57 clicks back, just to go essentially what is 3 forward. I mean, but anyway, I'm going to crack on. The card's just got to load in. Go find my trailer. I'll see you a bit later on. was wonderful, wasn't it, all that traffic? But I've tipped, I'm done, he's on his break. I'm on mine now. Now I'm going to cover something. And it's just, where's it gone? Which one is it? It's that one, lovely. And it's basically to explain the kind of calls you're going to have to make when you're drivers. Now, obviously, if you are late to your destination, you're going to have to fill out some form of debriefing form, whether it's an incident report or something like that. That's standard procedure. Okay, they're not picking on you, it's not your fault, whatever. But a lot of people are going to pick up silly little infringements because they want to get there. They want to do it good. They want to be good. They want to be good. And they'll pick up silly little infringements that they don't really need, for the sake of, in debrief, not writing out, well, I got caught in traffic so I needed a break. That kind of thing. Now, as you remember, last Friday, obviously I forgot my cameras, but you heard about it, I stopped and then had to fill in the incident report as to why I was late and yada yada yada, which is fine. Now, when I stopped at Liddell Services, I was on 2 hours 56 minutes of driving, reading off my little blue book. That's why I keep it. Now, the following, that was the 14th, that was Friday, so yes, Sunday, when I had Avonmouth Didcot again, I got all the way here and it was free flowing, it was all lovely jubbly, it wasn't Friday evening, and it took me 2 hours 54 minutes of driving time. Well, last Friday I left the yard at 14:20. Okay? This Friday, today, I should say, I left the yard at 13:20, so an hour ahead. So what does that mean? Basically what that means is, last Friday I was going to have to drive through the rush hour, so through all the carnage. This Friday it's still carnage, but it's not Friday night rush hour crush as well. Now, you will have seen some of the issues with the traffic I had. I will have edited it so you get to see. I'm not going to make you sit in traffic jams, I'm just going to give you like 20 seconds or something like that, whatever. I'll figure it out when I get home. But anyway, last Friday I was going down and I was coming towards Liddell Services and it was saying 45 minutes to the M5. Now obviously that's beginning, I went on my break at 17:14 last Friday, so that's rush hour and it's already 45 minutes to the M5. Then you've got the M5 itself. You can go all the way down to the M49 swinging that way, but last Friday, if memory serves, something had occurred between the M4 and the 48 junction or something, and it was all carnage. Been flashing up, whatever. I'm sure some drivers will know what I'm going on about. But anyway, I made a decision to stop, as you know. Now, from Liddell Services to the M5 is roughly 20 minutes. Give or take, depending on what speed you're doing, what kind of vehicle you're in. It's usually, if it's clear, it's about 20 minutes. Going to Liddell, I saw the Matrix just before Liddell. It's a little way, not massive distance, but a little way before it. Saying 45 minutes. So already there's an extra, say 20 minutes for argument's sake, taken in the distance between it and Liddell Services. Okay? So say an extra 20 minutes. Fair enough, not too bad, only 2:56 driving time, who cares? Well, then you've got the M5. Now that's at least 25 minutes. At least 25 minutes to get on a Friday rush hour to get from the M4 to junction 18. It will take you 25 minutes. Stop, start, stop, start. But of course, you're rolling all the time, so you're getting excess driving time, if that makes sense. You're not covering the distance to your driving time. Now, today, I left an hour early. By the time I got to Liedel services, I was 20 minutes ahead driving time. I got here, now I managed to use the cut through and go around and avoid the M5. I hate the M5 on a Friday night. Everyone does, or Friday afternoon into the evening. I'm on 3 hours 45 minutes. Now I have taken a photograph, I think I did. Hold on one second, I shall just check this. I don't want to be... No. Okay, right. What I shall do, just for you guys. There you go. 3 hours 45. Okay? So that'll be flashing up now. Now, obviously the driving time to Liedel, whatever. I was 20 minutes more driving time last week than this week, with another 20 to go and another 20 on top, which I didn't have today. I had a small minor issue on the M4 for a bit, but that was just where everything hits one another style thing, goes off to the M5, the M4, the 48, the this, the that. It's always knackered. Even in the middle of the night, that thing's probably knackered. But whatever, I had that. So bearing that in mind, and the fact I was able to bypass the M5 and go all the way around, 3 hours 45 last week easily would have been, what, 3:30 for argument's sake, bit of stop and start and, you know, a little bit extra by the time I get to the M5. Still got all the M5 and everything else to do by the time I get here spin. I might have made it to the yard, but chances are I wouldn't have had the time to be able to do the manoeuvre, reverse, whatever. So I made a call to stop. Now I'm 3:45, and as you will have seen from some of the footage, I managed to scout round everything and it was relatively free moving. So guaranteed I would have probably got an infringement last Friday. Guaranteed. So I'm quite happy in that I made the right decision. I'm 90% certain I'd have got an infringement last Friday, given the road conditions at the time. And given that today I was an hour ahead, it still took me 3 hours 45 minutes and I was an hour ahead. I got here at 3 minutes past 5, so I got here as the rush hour was starting. By the time I got to Liedel last week, it was 5:15. It was rush hour, so I had everything. So I'm pretty certain. So you've got to be able to make these calls. If you're a new driver, you've got to be able to sit there and make that call and think, no, I'm going to get an infringement. I know I'm going to get an infringement. I'm going to stop. Hopefully today, Friday today, obviously it was Friday last week, hopefully, you know, me being on 3:45 and I got here as a rush hour started, I can kind of see why my driving time would have added up, because I was 2 hours 36 by the time I got to Liedel this week. I'm still 3 hours 45 now. And obviously that's taking into account the manoeuvre, because the photo I took first was I'd taken it when I arrived. I didn't do the manoeuvre. Obviously, if the way I'm talking, I've got to factor in doing the manoeuvre as well. So 3:45. Now okay, I had the extra 20 minutes, 3:45 and 20 is still not 4.5. It's fine, everybody can say that to me. But I didn't have the rush hour crush. I avoided the M5 because there was no issues. So you add that little bit on as well, all of a sudden I'm 90% certain I'd have gone over 4.5 hours. It's a little bit like going to Poole. Going down to the site I was at yesterday. Dinky, 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 dinky. Usually, right, when I went on to break at Poole, it was 3 hours 13 minutes. 3 hours 13 minutes, lovely jubbly. Thing is, you guys know I've pushed it to go to Poole before now, and I've ended up 10-15 minutes over my driving time. You know, I've ended up with the driving time infringement. Do you see what I mean? It's the same journey. It should take the same amount of time, but every so often, and that's the point I'm raising, every journey is individual. It's different. A few years ago, not long after I started here, it was a drop and drive, 2 drop and drives, one to Chichester, one to Portsmouth. Guy I was with left just in front of me, and he waited for me. I got through the gatehouse and we left. Now I got held up by, what's he doing? We've had a delivery turn up and he's obviously never been here before. I think he's planning on reversing in from the road. Fair enough, you can do it, there's enough room for him. But anyway, going back to it. We left at the same time. Down the 414 there's a few traffic lights. I got held up at a red, he got through. The upshot was, the knock-on effect that had, I got held up by one set of traffic lights, and of course the knock-on effect. I ended up arriving at Chichester, which is where we were going first, about 40-45 minutes after him. And we left at the same time. Every journey is individual. So to all new drivers out there, you've got to make a call. It's your card. Every single journey is individual. The computer system's going to tell the management team it averages this amount of time. So worst case scenario, they're going to guesstimate is this. But every single journey is individual. Even if you leave at the same time as someone, you can be nearly an hour apart by the time you get to your destination because you got caught by a single set of traffic lights and then had the knock-on effect of everything else. You know, the hold up at the roundabout that you wouldn't have had if you'd have been a minute quicker. The accident that occurred because in between you and whatever, and all that kind of crap. But anyway, I am going to shut up now. And I'm going to go and help this driver to get in, because he's obviously curious as to how the hell you do it. So I shall be back in a while. Well, that's him backed in, lovely jubbly. Nice and easy, nice and easy. But yeah, I shall phone them to find out if I am going to Didcot, because we don't usually pick up from Didcot, and last week one of the things that was said was I did find it funny. Even though it was on your run sheet, why did you go to Didcot? Because it was on my run sheet? I did find that one funny, so I'll phone up tonight just to find out. It wasn't said with any malice, it's just we don't usually pick up on a Friday, so... And to be fair, last Friday everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Such is life, such is life. It's all wonderful. One thing that was asked of me, or said to me I should say, is can I do more town work, you know, with the road work that I do, or at least do like a compilation of Muppet drivers or bloopers, things like that. I did do a blooper one about 3 months after I started originally. The thing is, that was created with material made when I didn't have a clue what I was doing. When I started doing this, I really was a plank of wood, I suppose is the best way of describing it. You see, the weirdest thing when you start YouTube, and I didn't even think about this when I thought I'll give it a crack, is you don't know who you're talking to. Now, obviously, I don't know any of you personally, fair enough, but I communicate with you either on Twitter or comment section, whatever. And I kind of get to judge who I'm talking to. But when you first start out, all you are doing is talking to a camera. You are essentially talking to yourself. And it did confuse the heck out of me. And I did a couple of test ones. And I bunged them up on YouTube, and I got a couple of my friends to look at them, a couple of my mates. And Sean turned round to us and sent us a message and said, "Why are you using your phone voice?" Because I was being very precise about what I was saying, and very matter of fact, and taking time to get things right. I was literally like that the entire time. There was no me in it. It was just, it wasn't free form. It was just thinking for too long, just making sure. I had no clue. And when I first started, obviously I didn't really think about the fact that when you turn an ignition on in a truck, certain things start up, and there might be a beep beep as a forward-facing camera comes on, or as an isotrack kicks in, or whatever. And I kept getting caught out by it, and I kept cocking up big style on this and that, and so I made a bit of a blooper reel of that. But the thing is, I'm used to it now. This is all freestyle, this is all freefall, it's not scripted. It's a case of I hit record and I just keep chatting, as you know. So the blooper reel, really, it doesn't exist. I might edit the odd section here and there if I've dragged on a bit too long. I do that sometimes. Most of the time. Okay, all of the time. But it's a case of there isn't really the bloopers anymore. Other than the odd, I swear when I didn't mean to, and I think, oh no, I'm going to do that again. But that's not really a blooper. That's just... It is, but it isn't a funny one, if that makes sense. You see, one thing about me, to anybody who knows me will know this. I swear like a trooper. I really do. What you see of me on this is... I really have to think about it. You see, I might use bollocks or words of that kind of nature, but they're more comical. For example, let's say you had a toddler come into the room, drop his toy and go, "Bollocks." Everybody in that room, including the parents, would be laughing their heads off. Yeah, the parents might be like looking at one another going, "I know where that came from," but everybody starts laughing. Whereas there are certain words, four-letter one ending in T, and rhymes with runt. That one you don't really use. And if a toddler came in and said that, that would have issues. No one would be laughing at that. The thing is, me as a person, I use those kind of words as greetings. I really do swear quite a lot, so I really edit myself for the channel. So the only things I'm really cutting out these days are where I'm saying something. I mean, I'm in mid-swing, I'm blah 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 blah, and then I, drop the wrong word, and I'm like, ugh. And that's all I kind of do. I just realise I've said it, and then I carry on talking so that I can cut it out and carry on, that kind of thing. But I try to edit myself. Now, as for the town driving, I will do what I can. I mean, if I do get dig cop, then I'll swap the battery over in that, because obviously it's done all the way from Hatfield to here, it's dead. But I'll swap the battery over, I've got the spare one in there. I could probably do from Didcot round the Oxford Ring Road, that kind of thing, maybe chuck in a bit of that. But at this time of year, I mean, we've got Halloween coming up, we've got 5th of November, for any Americans that's obviously fireworks night, and then we've got Christmas. So at this time of year I am a trunk driver. I go from a depot, usually the depot to a depot, or a depot to a store, then to a depot, then back, then a supplier or something like that. So it tends to be a lot of motorway work, and at this time of year, the bigger stores, the ones located easily accessible, so the ones close to a motorway. I mean, the Avonmouth one, the motorway, you can literally see it from the other side of the building. So it's a case of they're the ones that are most used, so they're getting a lot more volume, so people like me get chucked on those runs. At the quieter times of the year, yeah, fair enough, going into London I'll probably get a second run. You know, it might be Enfield, Acton, Nine Elms, wherever. But that tends to be more quiet time of the year. At this time of year, during the summer, I tend to get South Coast, West Coast. I tend to get longer runs, motorway stuff. So the town driving does tend to take a back seat because I don't do it. Quite simply, it's not a case of I turn the camera on at the wrong point and then all the town driving's missed. It is literally, I did no town driving. One of the reasons why a lot of the footage I do is of me joining or leaving a road when I'm editing it is because I understand just sitting on a dual carriageway watching that, it might appeal to kids, but doesn't really appeal to adults because we get to do that in our cars all the time. Whereas taking one of these things round a town, seeing me go, you know, wide for turnings and things like that, it's more interesting. Doing junctions is a bit more interesting because you're doing junction and lanes coming from that direction, cars are coming here, cars are coming there. It might be a bit more interesting. As for the nut jobs, if I get nut jobs, I'll edit them in. I always do. If I go past an accident, I will edit that in. You know, I'll use that piece of footage. You know, if it's not too far down or I can get to it. Sometimes I have to quick edit, where I get home and I only have a certain amount of time, so I'll quickly edit and some things will get left behind. But I will always try and put those in. The simple fact is, I don't know, it must be sod's law or whatever you want to call it. When I have my forward-facing camera on, everyone's driving Miss Daisy. You get the odd last-minuter, but that's not really insane. That's just normal. That really is just normal. You get the odd one here and there, but when it's on, it's just everyone's driving Miss Daisy, and you're like, usually somebody's gone flying down the hard shoulder with their hazards on by now. You know, none of it. As soon as the camera's dead or I haven't turned it on because I'm intelligent and I've forgotten, boy, they come out of the woodwork. You just sit there and you're like, whoa. It's like last Friday. There was that 3-car pile-up on the Oxford Ring Road. Just in the flyover, just after the flyover near to the Mini factory and everything like that. There was a car. It's a dual carriageway section. You go up the flyover, you go down it, there's a road, joins and carry on. And the Fiesta van was facing me. The Mini was straight on. You know, it'd obviously gone in and gone back that way, and it had taken out the Audi in front of it. You were looking at it and I was thinking, well, I don't even have my cameras. That's sod's law, it always happens. So I shall edit what I can, but at this time of year, most of the stuff I do is motorway work. It has to be said, I do have one of the easiest jobs in this industry. And YouTubers give you a whole range of different jobs. You got your heavy haul boys who YouTube, you've got your multi-drop guys who YouTube, you've got your people who do the long distance stuff who YouTube, all this kind of stuff. The thing is, most retail outlets, large blue chip organisations, don't let any drivers YouTube. Company policy. If they get seen being advertised, but none of their suppliers or their business partners are being advertised, it can cause a bit of an issue and various things like that. So you never really see this side of driving. And this side is by far and away the easiest side to driving there is. I refer to the heavy hauls and the general hauls, you know, the long distance guys, I refer to those as proper drivers. You know, what we do is seat warming. I am a steering wheel attendant, that is about it. there are the odd occasional ones where you get some pancreas and you're like, oh, really? There are the odd occasional ones, but even then it's not that bad. But it really is quite an easy job, this part of the industry, and that's what you see on my channel. But anyway, I shall shut up now, finish off my break, make a phone call, find out where I'm going. I shall see you a bit later on. I won't end it now, because if I am going to Didcot, obviously there'll be some ring road stuff of Oxford. But anyway, I shall see you in a bit. Well, that's me back at the yard. Just turn that off. There we go. That's me back at the yard. I didn't have to go to Didcot at the end, but such is life, such is life. It don't really faze me too much. I'm in tomorrow, so job's a good one. But anyway, I'm going to crack on, finish my paperwork, go home, do some editing, have a proper dinner for a change, because I've actually got some time in between my shifts. I'm in at 12:30 tomorrow, I'll be finished by 10:30 tonight. Ah, woohoo! So, cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I shall see you in the next one, which should be tomorrow. But anyway, cheers guys, and I'll catch you later.